The 4th of November, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Oui, Rachel.
Okay, welcome back, Lou.
Thank you. Welcome back, Rabbi. Hi, Phil.
Well, how you doing? We're actually in this middle of this thing that was connected to the matmon, the one that was the thing that the money that was buried away. That therefore he should be able to announce it, because since he buried it, he hasn't given up on it. He thinks he can go back and find.
Oh, right. Okay, so let's see here. All right, yeah. The Gemora, we're working with we're working with a Brisa and a Mishnah. We had one of them said in the name of Reb Shimon Elazar that if it's you find it in a makom Rabbi Metzuyin sham, so then harei u'shalo. And we were wondering, is that even in the case of Rov Yisrael, or is it only Rov Kananim? So we attempted to prove from a Mishnah in Machshirim. It doesn't mention who the author of the Mishnah is, but it said that that what? Motzbo Aveda Imrov Yisrael Chayv Lahakris, Imrov Kananim Eno Chayv Lahakris. Made a split. And the Gemara suggested that who is it that says that we go Basarov like this? It's none other than Reb Shimon ben Elazar. And if so we see that Reb Shimon ben Elazar says that in the case of Rov Kananim, that's when we say Harei Elu Shelo. But if it's Rov Yisrael, then no, Chayv Lahakris we say. And the Gemara answered back, no, we'll say that Mishnah is the view of the Rabbanan. And then the Gemara said, no, we'll say we'll say that Mishnah is Reb Shimon ben Elazar. And even in a case of Rov Yisrael, the din is, well, one second. La'olam Reb Shimon ben Elazar, he yafilu b'Rov Yisrael nami. Well, I don't understand this. If you say the Mishnah is Reb Shimon ben Elazar, well, he's saying Rov Yisrael is Chayv Lahakris. So why is the Gemara saying Afil b'Rov Yisrael nami? Okay, that Afilu is a little funny, but in any case, the Gemara, like Phil said, is saying Hachabumayaskinen. What are we talking about? We're talking about something that's is tamun. That's what the Gemara wanted to say that we're talking about in that Mishnah. It's tamun, meaning it's buried. Buried treasure. Oh, fine. Now we get to the Gemara's next question. Iba tamun ma'avidite gabe. Lou, you want to read that? See where that is?
Yeah. Tamun. If the Mishnah refers to a buried object, my avid te gabe. What is it doing in his possession? I.e., Why did he take it at all? The Tanan, we learned in the Mishnah, Matzah kli be'ashpa. If one found a vessel in a garbage heap, mechufsa, if it's covered, lo digabo, don't touch it. Megule, if it's revealed, notel b'machriz, take it and announce it. So, in other words, if it's buried, he shouldn't have even taken it in the first place.
Oh, that's what the Gemara means. Yeah, I was saying that from the standpoint of the language of the Mishnah, it's very fair to say that, because the Gemara says, the Mishnah says, Matzah bo aveda. He found a lost item. What do you mean he found a lost item? He was digging. And why is it called Leveda? Somebody put it there. Somebody put it there intentionally. But the Gemara has a different question. The Gemara says, Tomon, if it is buried, my avidite gabe. What's he poking around there for?
How did he even find it if it's buried?
Oh, so it's like those guys that go around, with their metal detectors and everything, looking for gold bars or whatever. I don't know what they're looking for. I guess they're looking for something that's of value.
Right.
I mean, that's the thing, though. If it's tumbling, it means it was buried. If it was buried, it's under the ground. It was put there intentionally by somebody who hasn't who wants to keep it there for safekeeping. He doesn't want somebody else digging it up and taking it. But see, the Gemora, when it says what it's saying, itamun b'may vidite gabe, what the Gemora is it's asking based upon the Mishnah. There's a Bahatanan. The Gemara says we have learned in a Mishnah. It's actually a Mishnah. It's like the next Mishnah on the next Amud. Over there it says Matzah kli ba'ashpa. If you find a container in an ashpa, find some type of a vessel, machusa lo yigabo. If it's covered, meaning, if the kli has a cover, its contents are not readily accessible. You'd have to open up the cover. Then lo yigabo, you're not allowed to touch it. You don't need to do anything with it. Just don't touch it. But only if it's megula, the din is notel umachris. Then if it's megula, if it doesn't have a cover, that's what it means. It doesn't have a cover. Notel umachris.
Megula is revealed.
It's revealed.
So what does that mean? What's that referring to? What's it revealed?
It's uncovered. It's laying on top of the pile, top of the ground. It's not dug into the ground.
Yeah, that's what it says there.
That if the vessel is uncovered, indicating that the owner is unaware of its whereabouts.
Uncovered. Oh, I'm sorry. 1 second. In other words, we're not talking about this mission is not talking about a buried treasure. It's talking about it was found in the ashpa. It's found in a trash heap. Sounds like it was. So what we're saying is that if it's covered over as a cover, don't touch it. And if it's not covered over, you have to announce it. Okay. Okay, fine. Fine. So let's see further in the Gemara. We don't have any Rashis, right?
Wait a second. I don't see any Rashis.
Okay. So that's the Gemara's question. Now, according to the Gemara's question, doesn't like what we answered. Not sure exactly why, but in any case, let's see what the Gemara answers to the question.
Amar Rav Papa, as Rav Papa said, Be'ashpa she'ena asuya lefanos. With a garbage heap, it's not ordinarily cleared away. V'nimlach aleha lefanosa. But the owner may have changed his mind to clear it away. Excuse me, I got to take a call. Hello? Hello? I'm good, Yosef. What's up? I'm in my class. Mommy is here. Yeah, you want to talk to her? Sorry about that.
Okay.
So should I keep reading?
We have a couple of Rashis at some point. I think it's up to where you were. The Rashis, the last two Rashis on the page. It's because we read the Matmon where it's buried away. We're up to She'eno Asuya Lefanot, that it's not made to be able to. That it's not the way to clear it, to clear it up. You see where I am? We're about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines up from the end of the page over the Rashis. It's regular hayod abalim. It's regular. It's the normal way for the owners hanicha to place their yamim rabim, for many days. Velo lifanot miyad, and not evacuate it immediately.
No.
Clear it up immediately. It's a garbage, but it's not like you clear it every day. Do it immediately, but you're gonna collect the garbage for a while, and you're only gonna do it once every few days. So if you can only do it every few days, then in a situation you should be able to find the garbage because it still should be there because it's not really immediately cleared. But then they said something out, but Nimla allowed Lifano, he miyad, that he changed his mind on it to clear it up. Miyad, immediately. But al karcha, you're forced to say, or yitlenu, or he took it, o yehei hefker,
Oh,
and he would make it hefker. Lahachidis. In the kat, it was chosen this, she'enu atsuya. It's not ordinary made to clear it away. The if it was your way to clear it away, it's an evaded midas. It's a loss that he knows about. Because he knows they're going to clear it away, he has no hope of recovering it. Mehaya, from it was, lo to him, I'm reading words here, lachush, to be concerned, shema yifnei, maybe they'll clear it away. Maybe it will get cleared away. So there is a concern of that, and he's not, it's a question of whether he's taking his das off of or not.
Okay, so this is a bit of a complicated case. Step one is, Rav Papa says, we're talking about an ashba. Gemora says, we're talking like Rav Papa says. Rav Papa said somewhere that in case of an ashba, she'eno asuya lefonos, it's a ashba that is not it's not the regilus to clear it away. Like you said, not every day. Certainly not. They don't do that. Rashi said, "Lanicha yamim rabim." They leave it as is. Nobody touches it for many, many days. They don't clear what people put there right away, like in our garbage heaps. Every day they come, I think, or every other day they come to take away the things that people put over there. So we're not talking about that. But then what happened was Nimlach Aleha Lifnosa. There was a change of mind, and the decision was to yes, clear it away. To clear it away right now, Rashi says. So then Rashi says, "Al korcho o yitlena o yehei hefker." So now at this point, what is Rashi referring to? The owner? The owner is going to be forced to either take it or allow it to be hefker. That's why we said that it's not. Rashi says it's really an ashba which is not generally cleared away right away, because if it would be an ashba that would be cleared away every day, so then Rashi says Well, if somebody put their item in such an ashba that's cleared away every day, that's called an aveda midas. It's just like if we go and put something in the garbage, whatever it is, that's an indication that we are knowingly and willingly relinquishing our ownership interest over that item. We're throwing it away. That's what really an aveda midas is. It's not really an aveda. It's a knowing relinquishing of any ownership interest in the item. Yeah. So at the end of the day, in this case, in this scenario, the person that put it there, he should really have realized, have taken into account the possibility that there would be such a occurrence, that whoever it is there was a change of mind, and now it's being cleared out. Now, what does this all have to do with what we were talking about? From one sentence to the next, from one line to the next, I don't know where the Gemora is going. You really have to think about this Gemora. This is not a simple Gemora over here. Then the Gemara said Hakanami, but that's what we're talking about over here in the Mishnah. That's the way we'll explain what's talking in the Mishnah. It says Matzah ba Aveda. He found an Aveda. What do you mean he found an Aveda? We're talking about like Rav Papa says. Hakanami, but ashba she'eno asuya lefanos. It's an ashba that is not generally the regilus of this place. It's not cleared out regularly. But in any case, nimlach, there was a change of mind in regard to this ashba, lefanosa, to clear it out right away. So if we want to say that that's the case of the Mishnah, so what does the Gemara mean to say over here then? Okay, nami, there's a Mishnah, kan, shamos, hayud, tumunos, ba'ashba. We're talking, what we mean is that the money that the founder found was hidden, buried in this ashba, and which we said before, the ashba is not generally cleared away. But then the I guess the owner of that area decided that he wants to clear it away. He doesn't want all this anymore. And so everybody who has something over there, they better take it right away, or it's going to be a lost cause for them. So what we're saying in the Mishnah, that's the case, that what we mean that if we're in a case of, if the ashba is in a place of Rov Yisrael, so then we would take that item and be machriz it, because we would assume, right? Wouldn't you assume that a person that puts it over there in such an ashba, it's true he knows that the owner of the ashba may one day just wake up and say, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to clear that ashba away, right? He's got a right to do that. It's his property. But people put their things there, and the guy doesn't usually do that because he's not he's got other things to do in his life, and he's usually busy. He's not so practically speaking. Generally speaking, what happens is that a person could put their thing over there and it could stay there safe and sound for a number of days with nothing happening to it. So therefore, if that, what would you say about the din over there? What's the din in such a case? I mean, it's funny. Somebody who finds it in the ashba like that, you don't find it. I mean, he was rooting around in this ashba looking for things. I guess that's what he was doing. and what we're saying is that if it's Rov Yisrael, he's not allowed to keep it for himself. He's got to be machriz it because the person put it there, and he was hoping that he'd be able to come back for it one day, but it was unexpectedly cleared away. So in that circumstance, in that scenario, we would say that somebody that finds it over there is chayav lahakriz. Okay. What does the art scroll have to say about this Kedama of Papa?
It says, we're talking about an object found in a garbage heap. Private garbage heaps were left in place for long periods of time without being cleared. Thus, a passersby who buried an object in a garbage heap for safekeeping could expect to retrieve it weeks or even months later. In this case, however, the owner unexpectedly decided to clear the garbage heap, which is what you just said.
And how does it work that we're saying that somebody just found this lost item over there? Did they say anything about that?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Now, of course, I don't want to give you a headache, but really what we're in the middle of is trying to figure out whether Rav Shimon ben Elazar said his din in a case of Rov Yisrael or a case of only in a case of Rov Kananim. Welcome, Sharabi Mitzuin Sham. Okay, but in any case, maybe what the Gemora is just answering up this Mishnah and saying that it's not talking about it's not really talking about anything that has to do with Reb Shimon ben Elazar. Maybe that's all the Gemora is saying. We wanted to say that it was talking about Reb Shimon ben Elazar, and like that we would be able to answer our question. And the Gemara is saying no, it's talking about something else. That's all. In other words, this mission over here is not going to answer our question that we were looking to get answered about Rav Shimon ben Elazar. Okay. Okay, that's the Rashis on that page. Now we go to the new page, Yibois Ema, and a round of applause.
Hooray!
Yay, wow. We finished Chaf Daled Amid Aleph in record time. How long did it take us? 3 weeks?
Yeah, well, I got to update my note here. We're on bet now. Ibayas Ema Leolam Rabbanan. If you prefer, say, in fact, the Mishnah follows the rabbis. Mi katane hain shalo. Does the Mishnah actually state that the lost objects, are the finders? That they belong to the finder? Eino chayiv le hachriz kitane.
Oh.
The Mishnah says only the finder is not obligated to announce his find.
Uh-huh.
The aniach, rather he should set it aside. V'yei sai Yisrael, and let a Jew come by via heave bay simana v'shakil, and he should give an identifying mark and take it.
What?
How's he going to come? He finds a buried object, and then the Jew is going to come and find him.
It doesn't have to do with with necessarily buried. We're not talking about buried here. We're basically talking about a case where the issue is whether or not the question is whether or not he has to announce. But if a Jew comes to him and he hasn't announced it, and he says, "Hey, here's a simon. Have you found my object?" Then he would have to give it to him. So it's a different case.
Why would he go to him? Why would he think he found it? If he didn't announce it,
let me see.
You're going to go to every Joe Blow in the street in the shul and ask him, "Did you find my object?"
Let me read the Rashi first, and then we can try to see the whatchamacallit. Let's read the Rashi and see if the article has a note on it. The Rashi first. We're at the first Rashi on the page. We should say that it's really the Rabbanan's opinion. Because Enu Tamon, that it's not buried. Below Tishbot Mine, and we don't make a judgment from that. Demodele Barov Kam, that he agrees that the majority are Kanani. And then the second Rashi, let's see if that goes. Who taught this? That Einu Chayav Lachriz, that he doesn't have to announce it. It was said, the Kavan, the Roba Kananim, because the majority of people are Kananim there, so you don't have to announce only the Jews. Deal with perhaps the Kananim that they really were Kananim. It's low, and it's his, and the finder can keep it. Nami also, lo have. This is not the lo azle rabbanim, that it doesn't go to the like the rabbanim, but the rove after the majority. Bimamono in terms of his money, in terms of money issues. You don't necessarily go after the majority monetary.
In other words, according to the Rabbanan, we're saying that this Mishnah is the Shita of the Rabbanan. So first thing Rashi explains is, well, why would you not be required to be machriz it? If it has a simon, you have to be machriz. So Rashi says no, because when it comes to that, when it comes to the obligation to be machriz, then we say over here that Keva the Ruba Kananim, since the rove of the people in that area are Kananim, Dilma Kananimu, maybe it was lost by a Kanani. So I think that's what Rashi means when he says, and therefore there's no obligation to be machriz. But on the other hand, at the same time, he can't keep it for himself. He cannot keep it for himself. See, he has to wait for a Yisrael to come and give him a simon. And Lou is just asking a good question, practically speaking. How is he going to know to come? I don't know. he's got he read it on the news. He read it on the YouTube. I don't know, but he's he heard that somebody found his item, and he's going to go over and give a simon. But and the guy's going to have to give it back to him because he can't keep it for himself. Why can't he keep it for himself? Because the fact that it is found in a place of Rov Kananim, according to Rabbanan, that's not a reason to say that you're able to keep it. Rabbanan don't go basarov. They don't. It sounds like they're chayish for the miyut. Maybe it belongs to a Jew, therefore I'm not allowed to keep it.
So I guess what happens is if somebody loses something, in this way, then he goes into the shul and he gets up and during the announcements and he says, I lost such and such an object and with such and such a sign. If anybody found it, please let me know.
Right. That's right. Exactly. He's got to be the one to do the legwork. Because the finder has no obligation, because he can use the fact that it's Rov Kananim to absolve of himself of that obligation. Okay. Shkoyach.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Take care. Be well.
Very interesting today.
Good.
Take care. Be well.
Oh, you went to Banff. Oh, wow.
Have you been in Banff, Phil?
Yes. Beautiful place. It's a much... You've never been?
Thinking of taking a big trip there. I'll have to talk to you about it.
It's more than Banff. There's a whole road that connects Banff to Jasper. I didn't make it all the way to Jasper, but it is the most beautiful country, more beautiful than Alaska and whatever. Great scenic views. I don't know if you're into hiking a little or rowboating a little or whatever, but there are, you could go as, if you really, there are places that you can go right to a place and see the waterfalls without having to hike much. And there are places that have longer hikes, but it's beautiful country out there. And
Nice.
Right.
Okay. We'll have to talk when I get into the planning phases of my trip.
Yeah. The closest town to really go to is Calgary. And Calgary does have a Jewish community.
Calgary. Interesting.
Yeah. Calgary, right. And there's actually a second place when you get out the other one. I forgot what the name of the other side is. There are two airports on the two sides. But I don't know if the airports go with the airport. I forgot